Hello, welcome. My name is Charlotte Conter, and I am so excited to be with this incredible woman today. As some of you may know, that I just launched a 5-week online course on how to stay healthy and calm, and this is all about empowered mamas. So I'm very excited to have this empowered mama here today, and there we go. And so I'm very excited to have Alisa Herriman here. She is a super mama of 4. That's right, I said 4 kids. Very successful businesswoman. She's a holistic nutritionist and a cancer practitioner, and actually teaches that course here in Ontario, right?
Yes. I do. Yes. Thank you.
Welcome. So I would love to kind of pick your brain to help some other moms right now. I mean, we know that these are very challenging times right now, especially for us mama bears, because all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're working from home, with our children, and we need to continue loving them, So how have you been staying like grounded and not getting sucked into the fear? How are you staying calm amidst the chaos right now?
Well, I think I know for myself, I've been working from home now for the past few years. So I have a bit of a kind of a home routine happening, but I remember that transition of going from clinical practice into like my online home-based business. And I think that the area that I struggled the most with at that time was routine. I wanted to do the dishes or make beds or get the housework done. And then when everything else was done, I would get my work done. And I've had to learn over the past couple of years that that stuff will still be there. But my work has to get done. And even now, there is a lot of fear and there's a lot of unknown happening for moms and families really in general. And I think it's just recognizing where we still have control and not trying to be fearful around the things that we don't have control on. I have control on the foods my family eats. I have control on the structure of our day. I have control on, staying home and being responsible and being a part of social distancing. So those are the areas that I actually have control. And that helps me just take a little bit of fear out of that. Good spiritual practices are good as well. But I think what has worked really well for our families, just having structure and routine. The kids know what the day is going to look like first thing in the morning. And that allows me the space to dive into my business as well.
I love that. My background is actually in mental health, and that's like anxiety 101, like create structure to alleviate a lot of that fear of anxiety, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I know there's like a lot of, fear going on in the news, like we're hearing constant updates and constant updates, even in social media. Like, how are you avoiding not getting sucked into that fear and staying calm?
It's really what you're willing to invest your time into. And I've chatted with a few clients and colleagues that, I think they've read every article and watched every video, and I haven't. I'm not invested in it. I have no control outside of my own home right now. And I believe in just, having some good, healthy practices at home. And I feel that when things like this are happening, we can almost get obsessed. And we can become obsessed over something we have absolutely no control over. So that's kind of my goal is just, I'll plug into what matters. I'm going to fuel my mind and my brain with the right things.
Yeah.
And it's just something I learned years ago that, I can, if I put good things in, then I'm going to have good things come out. And if I put scary, fearful things in, then that's what's going to influence, my choices and thoughts during the future as well.
Yes, I love that. It's kind of like shields up. Like I know, like 10 years ago when I was going through cancer, I mean, I stopped watching the news after that because I'd be like, oh, let me just turn on CP24 to check out the weather. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, gunshot, somebody got killed, an accident here. And then my anxiety, stress was going like way up, which lowers your immune system, right? So yeah, I love that. Protecting yourself and really plugging into things that inspire you, that are empowering to you, right? Positive. Now, as a holistic nutritionist, I'm sure you're getting a lot of phone calls or a lot of people trying to plug in to see like how you can boost your immune system. So how are you staying healthy and keeping your 4 kiddos healthy at this time?
So, our diet has a huge influence on just obviously the overall function of our body. And one of the areas that our diet really greatly influences is our immune function. So, we know that there are certain foods that actually can suppress or interfere with healthy immune function. And those foods are, refined sugar. We know, through science that eating refined sugar actually suppresses the immune system. And then there's also processed foods. Processed foods are full of chemicals and preservatives and flavor enhancers. And they sometimes are the foods that we will go to when we're feeling stressed or anxious.
Mm.
And the challenge is they don't help our body actually feel better, and they don't more equip our body to function better. Specifically with the immune system, you're not getting in processed foods, you're not getting the key nutrients that support a healthy immune system. So one of the areas that we have control at home at my house is in the quality of the food that we eat. And we're not perfect. We're so far from perfect. But what I love about, our family's diet in particular is I've just planned it out. I've planned 2 weeks of healthy dinners. We do a lot of dinner leftovers for lunches the next day. It keeps our family on a good budget so we can eat healthy foods and not feel like it's extremely expensive.
Mm.
I have 4 children, so I big batch everything. And we've just planned for healthy foods and whole foods. And we haven't planned for processed foods. So even though we might have, some in the cabinet, some treats and stuff like that, they're just not part of our daily plan. They're for, a Friday afternoon. My son's turning 8 tomorrow. So,
Mm.
we'll make a cake and do things like that. But really, it's just having a plan in place and planning for eating the right foods. If you don't have a plan in place, you're less likely to eat enough of the right foods. And I know, as a nutritional practitioner, the number one reason that families that I work with don't eat well is they don't plan to.
Mm.
So it's really just, having a good plan, trying to incorporate the right things. And then I go and shop for those things. Then I have them, and then I can follow the plan.
Yes, I love that. Staying organized, staying structured. Again, that's helping to like keeping us calm, alleviates a lot of anxiety, especially right now, which is so, so important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is probably like the number one question that I get from a lot of my clients, and I'm going to pass this on to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Should we be taking supplements right now? Should we be taking vitamins? And if so, which ones? I know I grew up taking like the Flintstone vitamins and even like the Jamesons, like they're sold in like grocery stores. And now I see them being sold in dollar stores now. So I'm like, oh, yeah. So, what should we be taking right now?
Well, first and foremost, our nutrition needs to come from whole food. Our body recognizes nutrition from whole food sources the best. That's why, a good example of that is if you take a multivitamin, you'll get glow in the dark pee in about an hour. But if you eat an apple or a salad, you don't, right? And the reason is because your body recognizes nutrition in whole food form. It's absorbable. It's what we call bioavailable.
Mm.
So diet is really, really important. But for most of us, we're still going to have gaps. And especially at a time where we want our bodies to be more resilient, to where we might need additional nutrients. Maybe we do, end up with a virus and we're trying to defend our body from it. Our nutritional requirements come up. So there's times where our needs exceed what we're eating, or we just don't have enough of the right stuff on hand. So we do need to consider supplements. I don't really recommend synthetic vitamins and minerals because of how poorly absorbed they are. They're not well recognized, and because of that, they're not absorbed well. In addition to that, in an apple, there's 10,000 nutrients, and all of those nutrients work together. In a multivitamin or singular vitamin formula, you're getting a few key nutrients, and they are no longer in their natural form, so they don't function the same way. And what we've learned is that some of these nutrients actually compete for absorption. So if we take a whole bunch of one guy, we can cause a deficiency in another guy.
Mm.
And one of the questions I get a lot of times, when I teach and lecture, I teach at the nutrition college, so is the question will be like, well, people's diets aren't great. We know they need to take a supplement. And I agree. We definitely need to take a supplement. I'll share what I recommend here in a second. But when we look at the vitamin industry, if that was perfect science, there would be one formula. And we have hundreds and thousands of formulas because it's educated guessing. Everybody's trying to figure out what is the right. And we don't have to do any guessing when we get our nutrition from whole food, which is why I actually recommend everybody take a whole food supplement. Now, the whole food supplement that I use in my practice and my family at home is the Juice Plus products. And the reason I chose those products is because it's powdered fruits and vegetables. And not only is, does it have like basically a food ingredient list, but it's Health Canada approved. So I know it's being tested. Most of the products in the market are not tested. You're really trusting the companies. And with Health Canada approval, we know, the regulatory bodies are testing these products. And they're also NSF certified, so I know that there's no contaminants and heavy metals or pesticides and stuff that I don't want in those products. So that was kind of the boxes that it checked for me. As a health practitioner, there's a whole large body of clinical evidence in peer-reviewed published studies that showed that the concentrated whole food nutrition absolutely has an impact. So diet first, fill the gaps with the foods you should be eating, look for a product that's going to provide the nutrients in whole food form that are just concentrated.
Okay. And with the Juice Plus supplements, how is that supporting the immune system? How does that help us stay healthy?
Well, we know that when our immune system is well supported by eating foods in the plant kingdom. So the more variety of fruits and vegetables you get, the more variety of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants. And antioxidants play a key role in supporting healthy immune function, including supporting macrophages, which actually help to circulate in the body to eat up bacteria and viruses. So we know that individuals who consume more plants tend to have better functioning immune systems. And that's why products like Juice Plus are so great, is because it's actually concentrated plants that are going to position the immune system to be able to be ready if it needs to be. And also to have those key nutrients in place to support just the development of a healthy immune system.
Love that. Okay, thank you. And to wrap things up here, whenever I'm working with my clients and in my online course here, I'm encouraging all the mamas to really connect with their inner child. And one of the ways we can do that is to have fun. So how are you having fun these days to keep things light?
I'm a country girl. I'm sure you guys could probably tell a little bit by my internet today. I am a big believer in fresh air and moving our body. And I know that for us, where we live, we happen to be surrounded by nature. So, we go for an hour-long hike with the kids and we laugh. And the other day we were out for our hike and we had a walking stick contest to see who could find the best walking stick. And it's just things like that where you just are enjoying the moment. I think fear takes us out of enjoying the moment. And, when you get out in nature and you don't have technology and you're not listening to the radio and you're enjoying fresh air and you're moving your body, you really are just being present and enjoying that time. And I know that, we all come back lighter and in a good mood when we go out and do stuff like that.
I love that. So just as we wrap up here, some of the key takeaways that I'm definitely getting from you is creating a schedule. Schedule is definitely going to help alleviate some anxiety because the kids will also know what to expect. And being organized in the kitchen in terms of like knowing what you're going to make, cook in batches so you can reheat. And then what else did you say? You were talking about eating more fruits and vegetables to help boost the immune system. You talked about whole food supplements as opposed to synthetic vitamins, and highly recommend Juice Plus. And for all of the moms out there, every adult that orders Juice Plus, a child gets it for free. Whole food. So that is incredible as well. And then to have fun, connect with nature, have fun, stay present. And I love that. Thank you so much, Alisa, for all those amazing tips.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thanks, mamas. We will talk to you soon.